about to buy a home and are dreaming about having a pool? If so, what's the best choice? Choose a home that already has one or build one later. In this video, I'll share everything you need to know about buying a home with a pool, buying a property where you want to put a pool in, and everything you need to know about building a pool itself. By the end, you'll have a complete guide on securing your dream home with a pool. It all seems a long time ago now, but during the pandemic, the demand for homes with pools skyrocketed. In California, nearly 100,000 pools were installed in 2020, a 9% increase from the year before. Last year in Sonoma County, 480 homes with pools were sold. If you are looking to buy a home already with a pool, you can expect the home to be worth an incremental $250,000 for a nice rectangular in-ground pool compared to the identical home without a pool. If you're looking to buy a property with the intention of installing a pool, there are some important factors you need to consider. From planning and design to cost and maintenance, here's everything you need to know before you dive in. Section 1. So what do you need to know before buying a property with a pool? Well, before you purchase a home with a dream of adding a pool, it's essential to evaluate the property. Will the yard accommodate the pool you envision? While most yards can technically fit a pool, factors like slope, soil type, and the location of the septic system can make a big difference in the cost and complexity of installation. For example, most people envisage a pool right off the back of the home to create the indoor-outdoor connection to the pool. But with a rural property, you'll be amazed at how often the leach field is literally right off the back of the house, preventing a pool being installed there. According to the Sonoma County current codes, you need to allow a setback of between 9 and 25 feet between a pool and a septic system, depending on what type of septic system it is. Moving a septic system is both time-consuming and expensive, so you're almost certainly best off working around the location of the current leach field when you're deciding on the location of the pool. The other thing you need to watch out for are wells. You have to be a minimum of 10 feet away from a well, whether that's your well or a neighbour's well. You also need to think about the topography of the property. A flat lot is generally more affordable for pool construction, but rocky soil, which is common in areas like Bardy Road in Bennett Valley, can increase the excavation costs quite considerably. So these are all things that you need to take into account. So types of pools. The next thing you need to consider is what type of pool do you want to install. There are generally two types of pools. You've got in-ground and above ground, though you can also consider semi-in-ground or container pools. In-ground pools are by far the most common and offer the greatest flexibility in terms of design and value, and will definitely add the most value to a property when it comes to selling it. In-ground pools, particularly custom concrete pools, can last for decades and add significant value to your home. You can also add features like spas, waterfalls, or Baja shells for lounge chairs. However, custom in-ground pools require more site work and more permitting, especially when it comes to soil testing or adding foundational piers if the soil is unstable or rocky, or if you're looking at building an infinity pool. On the other hand, above ground pools they're much more affordable, they don't require as much permitting or soil testing, and are quicker to install. However, they don't offer the same return on investment as a traditional in-ground pool, particularly when it comes to resale value. An interesting alternative gaining popularity is container pools, like a company called Mod Pools. These pools are made from literally repurposed shipping containers and are ideal for homeowners on a budget or those looking for a faster installation. One client of mine chose a mod pool which cost around $95,000 for the pool, plus an additional $35,000 for crane delivery, excavation, labour and hardscaping. Because container pools can be installed either partly above ground, they may not require a traditional pool permit, which is an advantage if you're near a leach field or a septic system. For example, if a pool is smaller than 20 foot by 8 foot, it doesn't actually need a pool permit. This is definitely an option if you're looking to put a pool in a property that has some complications and it's hard to figure out where to put it. As well as the type of pool, you should also think about the shape. If you look at houses from the 80s and 90s, kidney-shaped pools, they were all the rage. Sadly, this is no longer the case. If you are looking to sell or buy a home with one of these pools, it definitely contributes less to the value of the home than the classic rectangular pool. The typical size for a decent sized rectangular pool is 40 foot by 15 foot. If you want something more dramatic, then you consider an infinity edge or a zero-edge pool, as they're sometimes called. These designs can be stunning, especially on a sloped property, but they may require more foundational piers, which will significantly add to the overall cost of the pool. If you are a keen swimmer, you may want to consider a lap pool, which can be as big as 75 foot by just 10 foot or 12 foot wide. A small plunge pool, or a cocktail pool as it's sometimes called, could be as small as 16 foot long. It just all depends on how you're envisaging you using your pool and the lifestyle that you're trying to create. So next up, let's talk about designing and planning your dream pool. So when designing a pool, it's not just about the pool itself. You need to think about how you're going to live around it. I mean, will it be a hub for entertaining? Do you want a space to grill and dine adjacent to it? So planning the overall landscaping design from the outset will also help you get the most from the outdoor space. For example, you might want to add features like an outdoor kitchen or dining area or fire pit to complete the overall experience. Consider where you'll place these areas in relation to the pool so the flow of the space works for your lifestyle, as well as how it connects to the house and the practicalities of dining adjacent to the home. The location of the pool and its relationship with the house, or whether it's got a pool house, also it does make a really big difference to how much somebody would be prepared to pay for the pool. I mean, I've definitely seen houses where it's got a beautiful pool, but because it's set back so far away from the house, it's just less attractive to buy into that overall lifestyle. So the cost breakdown, what does it actually cost to build a pool? Well, the cost of building a pool has definitely increased dramatically over recent years, largely due to rising material costs, as well as increased labor costs and just the sheer numbers of people who are looking to put in pools. A standard 36 foot by 18 foot pool with an inbuilt spa can run to around, $150,000, while a high-end infinity edge pool, it could cost you as much as $250,000. So keep in mind that many quotes won't include extras like excavation or dirt removal, and it certainly won't include overall hardscaping around the pool. Factors like grading, soil quality, and access to the site also impacts costs. If you do have rocky or poor quality soil, you might need fully engineered piers, which again, it can add $50,000 or more to the total cost of the pool. And if the property is difficult to access, say, if large equipment can't easily reach the backyard, then that will drive up the costs as well, because there'll be manual labor required. And another factor to consider is the finish of your pool. There are a few choices, including PebbleTech, traditional plaster, and even tile. Each has got its pros and cons on both the overall look, the longevity, the feel, and the overall cost. For example, PebbleTech is a rougher surface, but it will likely last longer before needing to be resurfaced. So the next thing to talk about is the permit process and how long it takes to actually construct a pool. Like any construction project, building a pool requires a permit. Most pool contractors estimate that it takes around 6 weeks to complete the initial consultation, conduct the soil testing, and draft the design. And then after that, you might have to wait another 3 months to actually get a permit from the county. Once the permit's approved, then construction can begin. And again, that usually takes 2 to 3 months, depending on the complexity of the project. And then one of the other questions that people face is, should it be salt water or should it be chlorine? Consider both the upfront cost as well as the ongoing cost. Salt water pools are generally gentler on the skin and the body overall. They tend to have lower maintenance costs. However, they can be more expensive to install up front and require careful maintenance because of the corrosive nature of salt. But do be aware that even if you have a salt pool, it will have some chlorine added, but just not as much as if it was a chlorine-only pool. Chlorine pools, on the other hand, they're the traditional choice and offer probably the best sanitization. They're generally a bit cheaper to install, but they do require chemical balancing and cause irritation for some consumers. And what about heating your pool? Well, when it comes to heating your pool, again, you've got a few different options, each with its own set of pros and cons. Solar water heaters are the most eco-friendly choice, using the sun's energy to warm your pool with little to no ongoing costs after installation. People often confuse this with photovoltaic systems, but pool solar literally requires pumping water through a bunch of pipes in panels placed directly in the sun. They're perfect if you want to keep your energy bills low, but bear in mind they're less effective on cloudy days. And the time when you want to heat your pool is actually in the shoulder seasons, which is when the solar is also least effective. They can also take longer to heat the water compared to other methods. If you're looking for quick, on-demand heating, then propane heaters are definitely the best choice, but they're expensive to run and are clearly the least environmentally friendly option. They heat your pool fast and work in any climate, making them great for year-round use. I actually recently changed from a propane heater to a heat pump, which is more energy efficient than propane and offers overall lower operating costs, especially if you've got traditional solar on your home. Heat pumps work by transferring heat from the air into the water, in other words, the opposite of an air conditioning system. However, they become less effective in colder weather and take longer to heat the pool compared to a propane system. If you do have a pool with an inbuilt spa, then you'll likely want a separate propane heater for the spa, even if you've got a heat pump for the main pool, just so that you can control that separately and heat it up quickly, which you often want to do with a hot tub. So what about ongoing maintenance costs? Beyond the installation, pool ownership, obviously it comes with ongoing maintenance which costs money. You'll need to budget around $100, $150 per month for cleaning, chemical balancing, and the general upkeep. One of the most important aspects of maintenance is keeping the actual pool's chemical balance in check. I mean, I have a friend who actually does it himself, and he assures me it's easy. I mean, to be honest, when you see the pool company come each week for often no more than 15 minutes, it does seem like a lot to keep the pool in check. Over time, you may also need to replace parts of the pool, such as the cover or the filter and the filtering system. Pool covers, for example, often need to be replaced every 6 to 8 years, especially if they're exposed to full sun, which they often are. If you're looking to create your own private escape in wine country, a pool can definitely be a wonderful addition. Just make sure you plan it carefully, from budgeting to design to understanding the specific site challenges of your property. While the initial cost is significant, a well-designed pool can not only enhance your lifestyle, but also considerably increase the value of your home. It just makes your home attractive to a much bigger buyer pool. So, are you ready to take the plunge? Contact us today for more tips on buying a property with the perfect backyard for a pool. Buying a house and building a pool, or buying one that already has one, comes with extra costs, but if you have the budget, I say it's totally worth it. Just make sure, as part of the purchase process, you get a really good pool company to do a thorough inspection, because 90% of the time, there'll likely be some deferred maintenance that you can get a credit for at closing. It happens time and time again. So if you made it to this point in the video, there's a good chance that you're thinking about buying your next home, investing in this area, buying a second home, or selling your current one in Sonoma County. We'd love to be your real estate resource of choice. Just email me at david@brewingtonhargreaves to get started. I mean, our team's the current #1 team in Sonoma County, helping over 70 families in 2023 with nearly $80 million worth of properties bought and sold, helping you whether you want a second home or vacation rental or an investment property, or if you just want updates on the homes that are going to be coming on the market. And hey, before you go, if you like this video, you'll love my next video, which is all about everything you need to know before moving to Sonoma County. There, I'll break down the A to Z of the different areas, what it's like living there, and way more besides. So make sure to check that out. See you in the next video.